Welcome back. Now that we are done with the skin and hair, we'll be moving on to the other parts of this illustration, which are the earrings and the dress. For the earrings, I'm going to use white color, not too bright. And using shadows, I'm going to fill in the triangular shapes of the earrings. While the earrings were the easiest to paint in this piece, you must be mindful that you must take the utmost care even with the smallest details of your illustration. And to give it that glow that jewelry has, what you can do is set up a layer above all other layers and set it to the opacity to hard light, and use a soft airbrush tool to fill in the color. Doesn't necessarily have to be white, it can be some shade of blue or even purple depending on the mood lighting that you want to add to your illustration. If it's too bright, you can always reduce the opacity of the layer, or you can use a lighter shade of the color. Once we are done with the earrings, we'll move on to the next part. Alright, now that the earrings are finished, we'll be moving on to the dress. The dress in this case is very simple. It has just one major detail, a huge rose-like ribbon on the right shoulder. Here is where you can deviate a little from the source if you want to. You can paint it another color if you feel confident enough. But this time I chose to follow the original color of the photo, which was a black dress. However, painting a fully black dress is artistically unappealing, so I used a dark shade of gray as the base color. Then I blended a dark shade of blue. This gave the painting a very nice texture. Then I began to block in the shadows and the highlights, being mindful of the light source. And try not to be overly enthusiastic with your highlights, and not to choose an overly bright color, since this will throw off the balance of your composition. Just a few more details and we are finished with the dress. Once we are finished with the dress, we can move on to make some final changes to the illustration. And now let's take a look at the finished illustration. Looks pretty nice, isn't it? I made some changes to the overall illustration before I could publish it. I changed the values and tones of the colors in every layer. I also created a layer above all the layers and set it to overlay and fill it with a dark shade of purple and reduce the opacity to 40%. This gives the illustration a nice bluish tint. I also completely removed the line layer. Before making any changes to your illustration, just remember to let it stay for an hour or two, or wait until the next day and see if you need to make any changes at all. If you're satisfied with your illustration, you can export it. ClipStudio has another handy feature for exporting your images. You can choose from the quality of the image to the color range from red, green, and blue to the print-friendly cyan, magenta, yellow, and pea, otherwise known as black. Why don't you go ahead and try exporting your illustration in both formats? You will realize that what you'll see on your screen will be very different. Then you can choose the resolution output of your illustration. You can choose from size from 0 to 100%. This doesn't change the print resolution of your file, so be careful. Print size, but again, this doesn't change the resolution of your file. And then perhaps the most important of all, if you're going to be sharing your images online, is resolution. This goes from 0 to 600 dpi. The lower the number, it'll look better on your computer screen or your tablet or your phone, but you won't be able to print it in a larger size and it'll look all pixelated. So my advice is that you export your file in a resolution that can be easily watched on a monitor and one that you can use for printing. And with this, we just reached the end of this tutorial. I hope you learned some tricks and that you can apply them in your own artwork. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon in the next video. Bye! Hey, you reached the end of the video. Lucky you. Well, if you like this video, please share, like, and subscribe. See you all soon in the next one. Bye!